Hey, welcome back. So this is going to be a course review or description of natural language processing. It's a course that's given at Stony Brook University for their graduate program, and it's basically CSE 538. And we're going to be discussing just a little bit about the information that the course has on Solar on this website, and then I'll look on Coursera to see if I can find some information about it as well. And what I plan to do is that I want to be able to go and get the information and like any links to anything external links and add them to the description in YouTube. So that way in the future I can go ahead and I can log back into the description reading what I wrote, and then listen to a little bit of a video of what I am actually like was thinking at the time. I don't know, you see me smiling now because I really like that. Being able to like have some sort of pseudo perfect recall is actually interesting to me. Instead of just sitting back here and trying to solve everything in your head. Anyway, so natural language processing is a subfield of linguistics, computer science, information engineering, artificial intelligence concerned with interactions between computers and human natural language, and how to program computers to process and analyze large amounts of natural language data. Okay, and so natural language processing really sounds like something that is outside the scope of anything I've actually worked with, face to face or like locally, manually by myself. But there is a course on here that's is actually pronounced Natural Language Processing Specialization, which is called NLP. And the idea of it is basically talking about, you'll learn about the logistic regression, Naives, Bayes or Bayesian, like the basically it's like a term for understanding particular logistic regression. It talks about word vectors. It talks about implementing sentiment analysis to complete analogies and translate words. It also talks about using dynamic programming that's hidden on Markov models and word embeddings to implement autocorrect, autocomplete, and identify part of speech tags for words. You use recurrent neural networks like LSTMs, GRUs, and Siamese networks in TensorFlow and tracks for sentiment analysis, text generation, and named entity recognition. You use encoder, decoder, causal, and self-attention to machine translate complete sentences, summarize text, build chatbots, and question answering. Wow. Some of the skills that you'll gain is sentiment analysis, Siamese networks, hidden Markov models, attention models, machine translations, locality, sensitive hashing, and vector space models. Also word embeddings, word to vec, part of speech tagging, and n-gram language models. And it goes on and on and on. There's also an applied learning project that you'll basically learn where you'll probably take some sort of like open source project to build like a chatbot, which is great. One of the things I want to really do about this is that, look, is Coursera necessarily like lesser than actually going to school? It kind of really depends on where you're going with this. With this particular course, it's kind of like a trial experiment to see whether or not people can learn on their own completely online. And then you have online where they're also online this time, and they're going to try to see if this is better as well. So, but this is going to be the best way to get people to learn no matter where they are in their life. And one of the things I want to do in my business is to kind of help people become more aware of this idea of like being online and being able to provide some sort of business upgrades, or like you could provide more value to your business that you're in, being able to quickly learn something that's going to be valuable to you. And the technology is just growing so rapidly, and it's exciting. And for me, natural language processing is always interesting because I've been really excited about Alexa, and also Siri, anything that allows me to do speech to text. I've actually even started writing like posts based off of me talking and listening and trying to see how well I can get. And I've noticed a dramatic improvement in the speech to text on my phone, mainly because I think that there you have some sort of like they're learning on how I type and what I write, and trying to figure out ways to answer, to give the right word based on what I'm talking about. So like for instance, I can say there's a game called DDR, Dance's Revolution, and there's a term called Legend of Max, which is a word where it has 2 X's at the end of the word max. And I can say that on my phone, and it was actually getting, on the first try, I got the word Legend of Max, probably because I typed it before in another text, not even in the same application, just on the same phone. So that's great to see that. And also secretly on your Google Chrome application, if you use Google Docs and you open up Google Docs on your Chrome app, there's a plugin, not really a plugin, but there's a section where you can turn on voice dictation, so you can speak to your phone in different languages, not just English. You can speak in any like English, Chinese, Japanese. And what's cool about it is that if you're practicing how to speak, you can just sit down with the textbook, I usually do, and speak in the I'll read some Chinese from a textbook, but then I try to see if I can get the app to recognize what I'm saying, and that's great. Because what I'm trying to see, I know that what I'm trying to get at is that there's other ways of like learning, because we're getting all these new technologies, that the way we used to learn isn't have to be the same way anymore. And that's why I'm actually really interested in doing stuff like this, because I feel like I have to gain more knowledge. I need more help. I need more people who are around me who are smarter than me to be able to get into these things. So anyway, that's going to be it for this video. And the last course, I think, is, yes, visualization, which is a CSE 564 course. And I'll be talking a little bit more about that. I'll also leave links here in the description once these videos are available to talk about what I'm doing. So stay tuned for that.